Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we're doing a mystery mani on my client. If you're unfamiliar with what a mystery mani is, it's basically a manicure where my clients have no idea what's happening. They get to pick the base. So whether that's a gel base, builder base, gel X base, and the length and shape, but the rest is up to me. So this client of mine, she actually books mystery manis I want to say most often. The set that we're removing, this was just a simple set. It wasn't a mystery mani. So we kind of, I guess, oscillate between mystery manis and like tier ones, but most often we're doing mystery manis. But so she books in for gel X mystery manis, which is super fun because I don't do gel X all that often. So it's always a treat when I get to, because I love short nails, you guys all know that, but I also love long nails, so it's very fun. So I'm just removing her old set. I've just clipped off the length, filed through it, and then I'm just soaking it off. I'm not worried if there's a bit of product left behind on the nail because I'm going to be putting new nails on, and I'm going to be etching over the surface of the nail anyway. So I'm just kind of going one nail at a time, scraping off the gel product, and then pushing back the cuticle and filing off the excess length of her nails. Some clients like to keep their nails on underneath, or their natural nails grown out underneath. This client of mine does not. She likes them as short as possible because she doesn't like seeing them on the underside, which I totally get. But yeah, so I'm always sure to take those down. But some clients do like using gel X in hopes to grow out their natural nails underneath. But this client, no, she doesn't care. She's down for the gel X. So we're just going through, I'm using my MG Art, I was gonna say peel and stick files, but I don't even know if that's what they're called. But they're basically the files where you peel off the file part, disinfect the metal core, and then you can replace the file on it, and so you can reuse them with clients. And I've been really enjoying them. This e-file bit that I'm using now is also from MG Art, and I've also really liked that. I believe it's the Flame bit in Fine. It's quite nice. It's becoming one of my faves. I'm still waiting. I ordered Erica's ATA order for Black Friday, but we had the Canada Post strike. So when I'm filming this, it's currently January 3rd, or when I'm doing this voiceover, January 3rd. So it's been over a month since I ordered and the parcel still hasn't come yet, which is, I mean, it's the Canada Post strike that's causing the issues, but I'm like desperate. My bits were like in need of changing. Now they're like really in need of changing. So yeah, I'm just going through and I'm trimming the cuticles. Someone called me, and so that's all the cuticle trimming that recorded. Because whenever someone calls my phone, because I film on my phone, my recording stops. So that's all we got for trimming cuticles. But you guys know what that looks like. Now I'm just going around and buffing the surface of each nail, just very lightly. A bit of product left behind, which like I said is totally cool, just smoothing it all out. And then this client does get a bit of like dry skin. You can see in the top left corner there, so I'm just using this cuticle bit and I'm just going around and very lightly filing off that excess flaky skin. And then I'm using the Apres Long Almond. This is like the newest version of them, so they're super thin cuticles, there's extra sizes. But I'm just going through and I'm just making sure that all the tips fit well around the cuticle, and if they don't, then I'm just shaping them up a little bit. But they do fit pretty well. I do want to get some, I have very limited shapes and lengths in sculpted, but I want to try sculpted on this client because on this hand, actually on her left hand, her index finger is a little bit more curved, and I feel like sculpted would fit a little bit better. I'm just using my sanding band, going through and etching the insides of the tips to create better adhesion. And I'm going in with my Diami Feel So Good base, and I'm just scrubbing a layer of that as my base. Some people like to apply the tip with the Feel So Good base directly to the nail without having done a base coat first, but I love scrubbing in a layer, and then I also love the added protection for when I go around and thin out the cuticle after the tips are already applied. I love having that layer of like safety underneath so you're not touching the natural nail. And then going through and I'm just applying the tips, again using the Diami Feel So Good. This is my favorite product for applying tips. It's got such good retention. If you're still using the Apres whatever Extend Gel, try this. Game changer, let me just tell you that. My retention has never been so good since when I started switching to the Diami Feel So Good. So I'm just going through and applying. When you're applying the tips too, you definitely want to make sure that your client's hand is straight, and you want to apply with the direction of the finger rather than the final knuckle or nail. So this client, for example, on her other hand, one of her nails is a little bit more crooked, so I always am sure to apply the tip straight with the finger, so that way the nail looks straight coming out of her hand. And then you can obviously touch anything up when filing, but you want to get most of it done and applied correctly. I've just used acetone to etch the undersides of the nail, and I'm just going in with a top coat to top coat the undersides of the nail, and that'll just like cover up any of the gel underneath that's a bit sticky. And I get my client to cure with her hand in upside down. And I'm going around with the sanding band, and I'm just smoothing out the cuticle. Like I said, these are the newer après tips, so the cuticle already is quite thin, but I'm going around and smoothing that out a little bit, and then just roughing up the surface of the nail. I'm mostly roughing up the surface of the nail because I find it's easier to file when you kind of chalk it up. Because when the nails are clear, it's a little bit harder to see perfect shape, but when they're chalked up like this, it's a lot easier. I'm just going around, getting out any gel that maybe had squeezed out. The application on this set was pretty good, but sometimes if I need to, I'll go with like a cuticle bit just to make sure I get everything out. I'm just comparing the lengths. I do leave like a millimeter or two at the cuticle. Like I don't adhere the tips right to the cuticle area because I just find it gets a bit, I don't know. I find it's cleaner when you don't. So when I'm applying gel on top, I start with a base coat so I can kind of fill that little gap. I'm just going through and shaping everything up. You definitely want to make sure that the tips are fitting around the sidewall. I mean, I know après and Gel-X and stuff, it's all supposed to basically be like perfect nails out of the box, but you definitely still want to customize things for your client to make sure it's a great fit. I'm just going through with the acetone again, and I'm basically using the acetone to melt the tip at the cuticle and really smooth it out. This will make it super, super flush. And then I also go over the entire nail, and this will kind of smooth out some of the file marks from when I use the sanding band over the nail. And then, oh, when you use acetone too, you don't want to wipe the nail again after that because the nail is going to be sticky from the acetone. So that should be your final step before you go in with gel. I'm just using the Nail Thoughts Clear Builder Base and using that as a thin layer of base coat over all the nails. And popping that in for a cure, and then we're moving into the design. So this is one of the shades from the My Gothic, have we decided? I don't know. This is shade MS02 from the Start Beige collection, and I'm really, really loving it. I just did a swatch video, actually, and this cat eye gel that I'm using here, this is from the Yogurt Nails Heart Pink collection. It is shade MG32, but all this will be linked down in the caption. They're both from Sweetie Nail Supply. I am a brand ambassador for Sweetie Nail Supply, so you can use code Rebecca for 10% off. But I just swatched both of those collections, the Start Beige and the Heart Pink. It should be in one of my last videos, so if you want to see the full collection swatched out, they're both gorgeous. I'll link that up in the cards so you guys can click over on that. But I'm just using these, and I'm applying a thin layer of each color as a base. I'm doing 3 fingers at a time just because I didn't want anything to slip and slide around too much. But ever since I got the Start Beige and the Heart Pink collection, I've been using those for so many mystery manis, using the different colors within them. I'm obsessed with them. They're really, really beautiful. Now, when I work with cat eye gels, lots of you will already know this because I work with cat eye gels a lot and I talk about it a lot, but the first layer of cat eye gels, I always paint one thin layer and then I cure it. And then when I'm doing the second layer, that's when I use the magnet. I do like to go in with 2 layers because I like a little bit of a buildup of the color. So you can see here, that's what I'm doing. Filming this, you don't get a great example of what the cat eye is, but you'll see a little bit of a shift with the magnet, but just know, these are beautiful. So just going over like that, and then I'll flash cure. So when I'm going in with second coats, I'll always start with the cat eye first, just because I know I'm gonna flash cure. And I flash cure after every single nail because I really wanna lock in that magnetic shift where I like it, because the longer you wait, the more the magnetic shift will start to dissipate and you'll lose a lot of that reflection. So just fuss around with it until you're happy and then flash cure. And I'm going in with the second coat of the My Gothic Start Beige. These gels are really, really, really pretty. I don't want to describe them as a syrup, but I also don't want to describe them as like a solid. They're kind of somewhere in between. They have this softness to them that gives a little bit of a syrupy vibe, but doesn't feel syrupy. The formula is actually really quite thin. It's very, very interesting, but I really, really, really love this collection. The collection is actually, I think it's 10 shades of like these nudes. They start quite light. This is the second lightest, and then they get a bit deeper, and they're kind of all in the beige realm, but half of them are in warm tones and half of them are in cool tones, which I think is amazing. I do have clients that definitely like know that they're cool tone or know that they're warm tone, and I want to make sure that they're getting colors that suit them. So this is actually really helpful. I'm just applying a thin coat of the Nail Thoughts Clear Builder Base, and then I'm going with my Mostive black ink and just doing little dots into the gel, which gives this incredible effect. I'm obsessed with it. And then over the black glass nails, I'm just using the gel bottles, as well as actually this nail, using the gel bottles all-in-one clear builder. I use this as my base for when I'm going to be doing isolated chrome. On this nail, we're actually going back in with the Nail Thoughts Clear Builder and doing more of that black Mostive. Mostive, I wish I could remember how to pronounce things. Maybe that should be one of my 2025 goals. Speaking of 2025, I hope you guys are all enjoying the start of the new year. I hope if you had some time off during the holiday season, you got some rest. I have certainly not rested. I've just been working, not on clients, but at home, and quite frankly, driving myself insane. Stressing myself out. We're doing a little airbrushing here. I use the One Air airbrush paints. I'll have those linked down below. If you're in Canada, I'd recommend ordering from Really Hot Girl Nail to avoid duties. If you're in the States or elsewhere, you can order from Glam Goodies. I'll also have that linked, and I do have a code with them, so you can use code Rebecca for 10% off. These are acrylic paints. They're skin safe, so you're not curing them. They're air dry, which I much prefer to the gel paints, because then you don't have to worry about causing allergic reactions, gel allergies, by using gel paints. Also, don't mix acetone and gel and airbrush it. Please, for the love of God, don't do that. So many people are still doing that, and I feel like we've all been over this. Don't do it. That is so incredibly harmful to inhale acetone. Like, scary. Be careful, don't do it. I'm just going over all of these nails with the Nail Thoughts Clear Builder, just to cap in the design that we did. When you're using inks like I showed you on that pinky nail, if you wipe that nail after it's cured, you're gonna wipe away some of the ink. So I always want to cap that in as well, just so I don't mess with anything. If I F anything up, I wanna be able to wipe it away. I'm also using that to cap in the airbrush, so that's protected. It's like an anti-chip thing. I love an added security measure. So by adding in a clear coat, you're protecting a little bit better. But you wanna make sure you file the edges first and dust those off. You guys know this. Now I wipe off, give a really good wipe to that nail that we're gonna do the isolated chrome on till it like squeaks, and I'm using the Cocoist non-wipe accessory bond in black. This is my favorite product for slightly raised chrome application. I think it's actually maybe one of my favorite products of 2024 that I started using in 2024. It's been a huge game changer for me, and I love it so much. I can't even tell you. Actually, I'm going to tell you this Monday. I'm going to release a Substack talking about it. Thank you also to all of you who joined Substack to keep up with what I'm writing. That was amazing. So many of you met me over on Substack and joined in the chat, and oh, it's been so much fun. I'm really, really having a great time, and I hope you are too. I'm writing a bunch. I have so many ideas of things I want to write about, and I'm loving that you guys are just as excited about it. And I love that you guys are all talking in the chat and like helping each other out and talking nails, talking products. It's really fun. It feels really special, and I love it. And thank you for joining me. I'm really happy about it. I just went in with the McCart rhinestone glue, and I'm just using that to adhere some of the spikes on the nails. What is one thing that you guys are excited about in 2025? Excited to do, excited to learn? Is there anything that you want me to do, me to teach, me to talk about? I'd love to know. Let me know down in the comment section. I'm always reading the comments, just so you know. Like, I'm always up in the comments. I get back to them as soon as I see them, basically. Sometimes YouTube doesn't notify me, so I'll get back like a day or two later, but I'm always there. So I'm basically just going through and I'm adding all my silver charms, silver beads, silver caviar beads wherever I want them. You can see in the top left I have like my little drawing all planned out. I use Procreate and I throw a template in there and I drop all my nails. That's what I do for most of my sets. Mystery Manis for sure, and then also if I'm designing a set for a client, I do that as well, so they have a good visualization of what they can expect. I love these little pebbly beads. I got them in Japan. I should have got more last time I was there. They're really cute, but I actually have no idea where I got them from, so that would have been hard. But they're so cute. The chrome just applies so well to that Cocoist accessory bond. It's incredible. And so I use the little makeup applicator to apply, and then I use the sponge. It's so funny, nails has inherited like all of the old makeup tools that we used to use as preteens that never should have been used as for makeup, like the eyeshadow applicator and now the triangle sponge. So I use the eyeshadow applicator to apply the chrome, and then I use the little triangle sponge to wipe away any of the excess chrome. It's super, super helpful. And then after that, I'll usually just go in with a light brush just to make sure I've gotten everything out of there. Same thing, we're just going in and applying our little silver beads. God, I've just realized how hungry I am after I film this voiceover. I'm gonna make me some lunch. I'm also what day is this today? Today's Friday. I'm going back into the studio for the first time, kind of, since the holidays on Tuesday. I say kind of because I've done my mom's nails. I worked on a little project. So I've been like in and out of the studio, but I'm back to appointments on Tuesday. And I'm quite excited. I feel like it'll be really nice to get back to my normal routine because it's been a while. So now I'm just using that same Macar rhinestone glue and I'm going over all of my 3D elements. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Cap in your metal or metal appearing 3D elements. This will keep the shine on them. This will lock them in. This will keep them very, very secure. Just know that they're going to be harder to get out, but they're going to keep the finish. They're going to stay put, you know, the whole bit. This is what I always do. I get so many messages of people asking me how do I keep the shine on my little silver beads. This is it. It's the key to success. And it's pretty quick too. It's worth it. And now we're top coating. I'm using the Yogo Zombie top, one of my faves, to go over all the non-chrome nails. So anything I did that doesn't have chrome on it, I'm using this to go over. I love this top coat because it's a little bit on the thicker side. It'll really smooth things over. It's got a good shine to it. So I'm just going over everything with that. But for the chrome nails, I am using Young Nail Gloss Gel. It's a top coat. I love this for chrome. It's a hard gel top coat, so you can only use this on something that's a hard base, like a hard gel overlay, a Gel X base, a builder base. You can't use it on just like natural nails because it'll crack, but anything else is good. And this really, really keeps the chrome in place, which is amazing. We love that. That's what we want for our chrome. Well, I'm really applying a healthy layer. But here we have it. Here is the finished set. Let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know what other videos you'd like to see. Happy 2025 to all of you, and I will catch you in the next one.